Hi, my name is Karen Koch. I'm with the Music Educators Marketplace, and I'd like to show you some of the possibilities for using one of our most popular products. It's called the Bag of Blocks. Here is the Bag of Blocks. It comes in an attractive blue bag for storage. Each letter of the alphabet has one block. In the case of C, it's the C natural, the C sharp, and the C flat. And you can see that they are the same colors as the keys on the keyboard. The obvious thing to do with a bag of blocks is to build scales and pentascales, but there are so many other things that you can do with it. I'm going to share a few with you. The first thing is to show, actually one of my students showed me this. She came into the studio and found the bag of blocks in a basket, and she said, I can build a pentascale. She had just learned that word, and she built it like this, which is what children do with a typical block stack. And I pointed out to her that if she turned it on its side in this way, that it would show exactly the way the keys run on the keyboard. C, D, E, F, G. Another possibility for explanations is much more sophisticated, and that is explaining the circle of fifths. So if we go back and start with it at a C major scale, and we can explain to the student that every scale has a key signature, and they probably know initially that C major has no sharps or flats. So we now have our C major scale, and we can explain that every time we go up 5 notes, we're going to add a sharp to the key signature. So beginning with C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're now going to go to G major. So we move G major to the tonic position, and to find the key signature, we raise the 7th note a half step from the F to the F sharp, and there is the G major key signature. We do it again to go to D major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move the tonic note to D major. To find the key signature, raise the 7th note, the leading tone, C to C sharp, and there's the D major key signature. You can carry this through all the way till all the notes are sharped. It's also possible to do this with the flat keys, and the instructions are in the brochure, which comes with each set of blocks. Another way of using these blocks for explaining in a visual way some kind of theoretical concept is to explain triads and inversions. We have a D major scale here, and we can ask a student to build a triad, which they probably would know how to do. And they can see that when you build a triad, each interval is a third. Then we explain that each triad, if it uses the same letters of the musical alphabet, is still a D triad, whether the D is on the bottom or the top or in the middle. So look what happens if we move the D to the top. The intervals are going to change. So let's move that D up to the top. And now we have a triad, inverted, the third on the bottom, but here is the 4th, and it's moved. What happens if we move and invert that triad so that the root of the chord is in the middle? Let's move this again. And now the 4th has moved. They can see that. And the 3rd. And again, the root of the chord, if it's inverted, is going to be at the top of the interval of the 4th. It's very helpful for students to know this before they try to play the inversions with the changes of fingerings, which can sometimes be very confusing. Another option for using these blocks is to explain the difference between relative major and minor keys. So if we go back to our D major scale, and it can explain that every major scale has a relative minor scale, and the relative minor can be found by going to the sixth note of the major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We make that the tonic. The only difference between the relative major and minor, they use exactly the same letters of the alphabet, they just start on a different one. So here's our relative major scale to minor scale to D major. And then once we have the minor scale, we can move and explain how we create a harmonic minor by raising the seventh note. We create a melodic minor scale by raising the sixth and seventh, and then back to the natural minor. These are just some of the ideas that you can use, and you would discover others. Many teachers have discovered others. In a request that we've had from several customers to have an eighth block in order to show that top note of a scale, whatever it might be, we have created a blank block that has white and it has a black side, so that this is like a wild card that can be used to complete that eighth note of any scale to remove back to the tonic. This set of blocks happens to be the most useful teaching tool that we have available, or one of them. It's very popular with our customers, and it's attractive to students. The bag of blocks has been created by Christine Wolf, a teacher in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you would like to order, you could contact us at the Music Educators Marketplace, www.musicedmarket.com, and our telephone number is 800-430-3840. I hope this has given you some good ideas.